picture this. You're trying to get your child ready for school, but the routine you thought would work falls apart, and suddenly there's a meltdown. Or maybe it's mealtime, and it's a struggle just to get through it without tears or tantrums. You've probably felt frustrated and helpless trying to manage the chaos. But what if there was a way to reduce that daily stress and make things easier for both you and your child? What if the answer is something you already have access to right now, every single day? It's structure. And in this video, I'll show you how a predictable routine can help transform those overwhelming moments into calm, manageable ones. Stay with me because the relief you've been hoping for might be closer than you think. Hi there, I'm Emily from Parenting Beyond Labels, and I know parenting a neurodiverse child can feel like navigating a maze sometimes. Every day is different. One moment things are going smoothly, and the next, the whole routine seems to fall apart. If you're feeling like you're constantly putting out fires and trying to figure out what went wrong, you're not alone. So many parents are right there with you, trying to make every day a little bit easier. And today, I want to talk about something that could change all of that: structure. You see, for children with autism, structure isn't just about following rules or routines. It's about creating a safe, predictable world where they know what to expect. It's like giving them a map in a world that can sometimes feel like it's constantly shifting beneath their feet. When there's a clear structure in place, it reduces anxiety, prevents meltdowns, and helps them feel more in control of their environment. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through some simple, effective tools that can make a huge difference in your daily routine. We're going to cover the importance of using visual schedules, something so many parents have found helpful. I'll show you how daily routines can ease stress and create consistency, and I'll share strategies like how to help your child deal with those tough moments when they feel overwhelmed using simple coping techniques. These are the kinds of things that can make even the hardest days much more manageable. I'm not just going to tell you what works, I'm going to give you real practical steps to start using right away. This isn't about making everything perfect, because we all know that's impossible, but it's about finding ways to take control of the chaos so you and your child can feel more comfortable, calm, and confident in your routines. So stick with me. What we talk about today might just be the relief you've been hoping for. Let's talk about one of the simplest yet most powerful tools you can use to help your child feel more secure: visual schedules. You might be thinking, what exactly is a visual schedule? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like: a way to show your child what's coming up next using pictures, icons, or even written words. It's a guide that breaks down the day into clear, manageable steps, helping your child prepare mentally for what's ahead. When kids know what to expect, it eases anxiety and makes transitions feel less like a surprise attack. Imagine waking up to a day with no idea of what's coming next. That's often what it feels like for a child with autism when they don't have a clear structure. But when you give them a visual representation of the day, whether that's a chart with pictures of breakfast, getting dressed, school, playtime, and bedtime, it helps them mentally organize the events. The idea is simple, but it can have a huge impact. To start, there are lots of ways to create visual schedules. You can use a whiteboard where you write out the day's activities with words and pictures, or you can make printed cards with images that your child can place in order as the day goes on. There are also apps that help you create digital schedules, which some kids respond really well to, especially if they enjoy using technology. The key is to make it something you and your child can rely on each day. Now, here's how you can make this work in your own home. 1. Choose a format that works for your child. You can go for simple drawings, cut out pictures from magazines, or printed icons. Some kids prefer a digital schedule on a tablet or phone. It's all about what works best for them. 2. Keep it consistent. Every morning, sit down with your child and review the schedule. This way, they'll know exactly what's coming. For example, if your child has a visual of school, followed by homework, and then playtime, they'll have a mental map of what's going to happen. The idea is simple, but it can have a huge impact. Now, I want to share a quick story from one of our viewers. A parent reached out to us about how they used a morning visual schedule to help their child get ready for school. They found that when they started laying out the schedule every morning, step by step, from brushing teeth to getting dressed, it dramatically reduced their child's anxiety about school. What was once a stressful part of their day became more manageable. This simple step helped their child know exactly what was going to happen next, giving them the confidence to go through the motions without the usual battle. So tell me, have you used visual schedules with your child? How has it worked for you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's move on to another incredibly helpful tool, structured transitions. If you've ever tried to get your child to switch from one activity to another, whether it's moving from playtime to getting ready for bed or from TV to dinner, you know how difficult it can be. Sometimes even the smallest change can feel overwhelming for your child, and that's when the meltdowns happen. But with structured transitions, you can ease that stress and help your child handle the change much more smoothly. When we talk about structured transitions, we're talking about giving your child clear, specific warnings before a change happens. This lets them mentally prepare for what's coming next, which reduces that sudden anxiety they might feel when things unexpectedly shift. You can implement this by giving them a warning, say a 5-minute notice, that tells them that it's time to wrap up one activity and prepare for the next. Here's how to implement structured transitions. 1. Give a 5-minute warning. Before it's time to switch activities, tell your child, "We have 5 more minutes of playtime, and then it will be time for dinner." You can even use a timer or a phone alarm to reinforce this idea. 2. Use countdowns. For some kids, a visual countdown, whether it's a timer on a clock or a sand timer, can be really effective. It lets them see how much time they have left, and they can anticipate the change in a more calm and controlled way. 3. Keep the transitions simple. Instead of overwhelming them with multiple things to do at once, break the transition down. For example, rather than saying, "Time for bed, brush your teeth, change into pajamas, and read your book," give them one step at a time. First, we're going to brush your teeth. Then we'll change into your pajamas. Simple and clear. One story that stands out is from a teacher who used a timer in the classroom to help children transition from one subject to another. The kids knew exactly when it was time to move on to the next task because they had the timer as a visual cue. It gave them a sense of control over the schedule and helped them stay focused. In fact, the teacher noticed fewer disruptions and smoother transitions between activities because the kids were more prepared. Now let's talk about 2 powerful tools that can help your child manage stress and anxiety: coping strategies and social stories. These are essential for helping your child stay calm in difficult moments. Coping strategies like deep breathing can give your child the skills to regulate their emotions when things get overwhelming. Social stories, on the other hand, are a fantastic way to prepare your child for new or challenging situations, whether it's going to a doctor's appointment or attending a family gathering. To start with coping strategies, one of the easiest and most effective things you can teach your child is how to calm down when they feel overwhelmed. Deep breathing is a great tool for this. It's simple, and it's something they can use when they start to feel upset. You can practice deep breathing together, showing them how to breathe in slowly for a count of 4, hold it for 4, and then exhale for 4. This can help lower anxiety and prevent meltdowns before they start. Next, let's talk about social stories. These are short stories that explain a new situation in simple, clear language. They outline what to expect in that situation and how to respond appropriately. For example, if your child is nervous about a dentist appointment, you could create a social story that describes what will happen at the appointment: waiting in the lobby, sitting in the chair, hearing the dentist's tools, and ends with a positive reinforcement like a sticker or treat. Here's how to use these tools. Coping strategies. Practice techniques like deep breathing, sensory breaks, or even positive self-talk with your child when they're calm. This way, they can use them during stressful times. Social stories.
Create simple social stories for events that might cause your child stress. For example, use pictures and simple sentences to show each step of the event and how to handle it. 3. Consistency. Review coping strategies and social stories regularly with your child so they're familiar with the steps when they need them. Let me share a real story from a parent who found success using a social story before a doctor visit. Their child was always anxious about seeing the doctor, but after using a social story that outlined the entire visit, from the waiting room to the checkup, they noticed a big difference. The child was calm and even able to interact with the doctor without getting upset.
Before we wrap up, I want to quickly recommend a great resource that's been incredibly helpful for so many parents navigating the challenges of parenting a child with autism. Autism Positive Parenting by Sharon Davin is a fantastic book that offers practical advice, strategies, and insights for parents looking to support their child's growth and well-being in a positive, effective way. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend giving it a read. You can find it on Amazon, and I've dropped the link in the description below, along with a few other helpful books that could make a big difference in your journey. Don't hesitate to check them out. All right, let's take a moment to recap everything we've covered so far and tie it all together. I know it can feel like there's a lot to remember, so I want to make sure these key points really stick with you so you can start using them right away. First off, we talked about visual schedules. We saw how creating a clear visual plan for the day can make a world of difference for your child. Whether it's pictures, written words, or even an app on a tablet, visual schedules give your child the tools to understand what's coming next. When they know what to expect, it helps them feel less anxious and more in control. Imagine how much calmer your child might feel just knowing that after breakfast they get to play, then it's time to get dressed, and then maybe it's school. It's that clarity that reduces stress and makes transitions smoother. Next, we explored structured transitions, something that's so simple but incredibly effective. Transitions, like moving from one activity to another, can be a huge trigger for meltdowns. But by giving a clear 5-minute warning or using a timer, you're helping your child understand when things are about to change. It's that predictability that allows them to mentally prepare and avoid that shock of suddenly having to stop doing something they love, like playing, and do something else, like cleaning up or going to bed. This simple step can make all the difference between a peaceful transition and an emotional struggle. Then we talked about coping strategies and social stories, two tools that can help your child manage their feelings when they start to feel overwhelmed. Teaching your child to breathe deeply, take sensory breaks, or even just pause to calm down can help them self-regulate before things get too out of control. And social stories? They're an excellent way to prepare your child for a new experience, whether it's a visit to the doctor, going to a family gathering, or anything else that might make them anxious. By using simple stories to explain what will happen, you're giving them the confidence to face the situation head-on. All these strategies, visual schedules, structured transitions, and coping strategies, work together to create a sense of order in your child's world. They help reduce uncertainty, anxiety, and stress, and they give your child a sense of control over their environment. When your child feels more in control, it can make a big difference in their behavior, their emotional well-being, and their ability to navigate daily challenges with more confidence. But I want to remind you, it's okay if everything doesn't happen overnight. Implementing structure takes time. Some days will be harder than others, and that's completely normal. What matters is that you're being consistent and you're showing up for your child every day, doing your best. Remember, small steps towards routine can lead to big changes. I'm so proud of you for taking the time to learn these strategies and for caring so much about helping your child thrive. Every little bit counts, and I truly believe that with structure, you're setting your child up for success in the long run. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps us reach more parents who might need these tips.
And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos that can help you continue supporting your child's growth and development. But more than anything, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which strategy you're most excited to try first. Is it the visual schedule, the structured transitions, or maybe the coping strategies? I'd love to hear what's resonating with you and what you're most eager to implement in your daily routine. And if you have any questions or want to share your experiences, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to support you. And if you're ready to take this a step further, I've got something else that might interest you. Check out our video, Creating a Sensory-Friendly Home Environment, which ties in perfectly with everything we've discussed today. A sensory-friendly space can complement your child's new routine by giving them a calm, safe environment to recharge and self-regulate. If you want to learn more about how to design a sensory-friendly space in your home, check out the video now. It's going to give you even more tools to support your child. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You're doing an amazing job, and I can't wait to hear about the positive changes that come from these strategies. Until next time.